See him a beast when you hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when you hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G-Ring, he in the sound like
Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by the Miracle Man, Lerone Murphy, who returned to action Saturday night. Another victory at UFC London over Gabriel Santos. Lerone, always a pleasure to get your time. How are things at you today?
Oh, good man. Do you know what? It's been good to just like finish the fight and just chill out, spend some time with the family, have some food and that. So I've been enjoying this week, man.
Let's start with the good stuff. How have you enjoyed the victory, specifically on Saturday night, but also over the last few days?
Massively, it's a close fight. I was happy to get the win, especially after the camp, not knowing who I'm gonna fight until like literally 9 days out. It was difficult to even train and keep that motivation and keep that level high, that training level high, not knowing who you're gonna fight. And then I got the wild card, hit that 10-0, coming off a lot of stoppages, and he was a southpaw striker, so it's a big change in opponent. We had no time to prepare for a southpaw, but like I said, we put in the work, so we was ready for anything.
In a way, you almost had three stages to your camp. You had the preparing for Wood stage, you had the preparing for nobody stage, and then you had the 9 days to prepare for Santos. So how difficult was it to go from Wood to nobody to Santos?
Very difficult, man. Like in this game, like people say, oh, you can't focus on the opponent too much, but when you're fighting at this kind of level, you have to put a game plan together. So we was preparing for a boxer, good calf kicker, fast, smaller opponent in Wood. We was preparing for that, and then to get no opponent, you go back to, you just got to just do what you got to do, make sure you fit. So that was like a 3 week period of just literally just doing anything. And then you have your week before the fight where your training's finished. So really, all you're doing is sweating. You can't really put a game plan together for somebody in that time, because you've only got 3-4 days of training. The rest is like just cutting weight and stuff. So yeah, it's difficult, man, but we overcame it.
Obviously, there's been a lot made of the fact that you've never fought in England in the UFC. This was the fifth fight in the organisation and your first one on English soil. When ambitions as a rider hit, we saw your walkout. How was that moment for you?
Oh, massive, man. That's my track, and that was the first time I heard the home crowd screaming for me. So it was nice, man. It was good. That's probably like one of my, other than Abu Dhabi, my debut, that made me my favourite walkout.
What is that moment like for you? Because as you say, it's been so long, hasn't it? It's been 3-4 years now where you've been waiting for that moment. Did it live up to expectations in your mind?
Yeah, I would say it would have been better to be further up the card, but it was amazing though anyway.
Can we talk about that? I mean, fight past early prelims. I presume that wasn't the case if you were fighting Nathaniel Wood. Were you a little bit surprised that you were so low down the card?
Yeah, I was surprised that we got moved on. To be fair, we were supposed to open up I think maybe the last on the prelims or open up the main card. I can't remember what one of us was supposed to be fighting there, and then when the fight got changed, I got moved pretty far down, and I was like, it's still a good fight. I couldn't believe it, and in my opinion, we was fight of the night anyway. People got Gaethje and Fiziev was a good fight as well, but I feel like our fight was the best fight on the card, if not the second. So I feel like it should have still stayed where it would, but it is what it is, and it we just got to fight. It don't really matter.
The W matters more than anything, I suppose. But
that's it.
I don't know if you had a chance to to watch it back, but when you look back on your performance, how do you assess it? Are you happy? Where are your emotions?
I've watched it about 5-6 times, to be honest, already. I know I wasn't myself. The 17 months off definitely played a factor in that. The change of the opponent played a factor in that. There was a lot of factors, really, why I feel like I didn't perform at my best. But I showed grit, I showed heart, and I got the win, which is the most important. But I know that my performance next time out is going to be 100 times better than it.
What do you make of the little bit of hate? I presume you've seen it, a little bit of hate online. Some people saying Santos Santos should have deserved the nod. What do you think?
People always back the underdog in it. That's just how it goes. But I feel like if then people watch the fight back, do you know what it's like? It's one of them things. It's opinions in it. Comes down to opinions. Two judges thought I won. One thought he won. Some people, if you listen to Santos's corner in between rounds, they thought the first round could have went either way. He won the second round, and then I won the third round clear. So do you get what I'm saying? And then other people thought I won second and third. Some people thought I won third, one and three. It just depends how you see the fight. And when I watched the fight back, I feel like I landed the cleaner work. The biggest strikes. Obviously, he got the takedowns. I got a takedown in round two. Maybe around round two, I got a takedown. So it's one of them. What do you score? When was on the ground, he didn't land no strikes. He got one submission attempt. So in my eyes, I landed the biggest strikes. I caused the most damage. I won the fight.
I thought you won the fight 2-1, to be honest, and I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that because it's truthful. But I will say, from an uneducated point of view, it's one of those fights where somebody could judge it 3-0 to you, and somebody could judge it 3-0 to Santos. It was such close rounds, and it's also, as you say, it depends on what people like. Because, for example, the bit where he picked you up and took you to the middle of the cage and slammed you down, that could score big for some people, but other people could go, well, is that damage? Is that what is that? So it's one of those quite difficult fights to score. That's it,
man. That's it, and that's just the way it goes. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the judge's opinion. Really, that's that's their job to do. So they've got they're the closest to the cage, and a lot of them people would have watched that fight on TV as well. So they don't really see the damage of the shots. They don't hear the impact of the shots. They're not right there. They're not seeing the bruising he had in his face and whatnot. So opinions don't really matter. It's the result in it.
Can we talk about the featherweight division? Because obviously you and Jack got W's on the night. Obviously Arnold fighting Max next month. Obviously you fought your ex-opponent, or your previous opponent, Nathaniel Wood, is doing well. And we've obviously got Brendan Vucenic doing bits in other organisations. Why is featherweight just the buzzing division for the UK fighters at the moment, do you think?
I think it's just like the mid ground, isn't it? It's like featherweight and lightweight are the most stacked divisions everywhere. I think it's just one of them. Obviously, them guys have come up from bantamweight as well. So we've got a very good division. Got very good fighters there, man. It's good to see. Good to see the competition. It's good to see we're on the rise, and I feel like we'll have a few top 10 fighters over the next year or so in all weight classes.
You mentioned the rankings then. Are you surprised you never got number 15 or number 14 next to your name on Tuesday morning?
Not really. I'm not really that surprised because I didn't finish the fight in it. But I think with a finish, I would have got ranked. But I feel like they can't deny me a ranked opponent now. I should probably be number 16 now. Pretty much 5-0 in the UFC. It's like I was watching the Conor McGregor documentary, and he was fighting main event after 3. I know he's a special guy, but I know he's fighting main events after 3 fights, 3-0. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, mate, I'm 5-0. Fought tough opposition all the way. It's my time for an opportunity for sure.
I've got to mention Nathaniel's name because I saw the back and forth that's gone on over the previous weeks, and I saw the back and forth on Twitter over on Fight Night. Just give me your overall thoughts on the back and forth, I'd say, between yourself and Woods.
Do you know what? At first, it was like, I seen a tweet from him. This was after he pulled out saying, "Oh, you don't understand the masterclass I was going to put on and stuff." And I tweeted him because obviously it was cool before this. Do you know what I'm saying? So I tweeted him saying like, "Come on, bro, you can't be saying this when you've pulled out. Do you know what I'm saying? You've not made the fight. Just sit back, sit tight, and maybe we'll get the fight later on." Anyways, like sending shots. So we've had our back and forth, had a little bit of banter back and forth, but after a bit it gets annoying. Even fight week he's tweeting, and I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like I've got another fight to worry about. Why are you tweeting me? It's just, but obviously now I look back on it, I shouldn't have even replied because it was a thing for him where he wanted to stay relevant fight week. He's injured, no one's speaking about him, no one's bothered about him. He wanted to stay relevant, and that's all it is. Because look, I'm not seeing no tweets this week. I'm not seeing him say nothing this week. So It's just about relevance here, really, and him staying relevant. I'm not bothered about him. I'm past him. I'm five. He's only beat Charles Rosa, which is dog. Mind my language. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Charles Jourdain, who was off on I believe, off on the night. So he don't deserve a top 15 shot. He's not there yet. He needs to go and beat a solid featherweight, someone, maybe a Hakeem Dawodu, a Julian Erosa, Nate Landwehr, one of them guys. He needs to beat one of them guys to get top 15.
I think I saw a tweet on the night you said, "Come and see me, Hilton Canary Wharf." Did you wear anything back? There wasn't any scuffles in the hotel, was there?
Of course not. Of course not. It's all talk. It's all Twitter. But when it comes down to the real deal, nowhere to be seen in it. So keep it like that, innit? I know he's not that type of guy anyway. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy in Nathaniel Wood. He's a posh kid, London. Like, he's not that type of guy, innit? He's an athlete. So I just told him, innit, like, be real, innit, because I'm here. You want to sort it out, we can sort it out.
You mentioned there about obviously Nathaniel pulled out with an injury. You've had your own complications, let's say, from the Amir Khani fight to the last one. Did it make the victory on Saturday night even more sweeter, given all you've had to go through over the last 16, 17 months?
Yeah, of course. It's been a long road. I got injured. I had to pull out the fight, pretty bad injury, and then I went through the car accident. So I didn't even think I'd even get back in there, to be honest, at one point. And then so to get back in there and get the win in front of a home crowd, massive. I've gone on to 12-0 now, big opportunity. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I know the hard work starts now. Once you get in that top 15, there's no easy fights at all. So this fight just motivated me more as well to work hard. I've got a lot to work on. I also know the time off made my timing and even the wrestling exchanges like pretty bad on my part, but I've got a lot to work on, and I know that fight will level me up as well, differently.
Look, difficult question, so don't answer this however you like, but you said there about you didn't know if you'd fight again. What was that position like? Because this has been your life, this has been your career for so long. What was that kind of mental space like?
Hard, depressing, man. Hard. Took a lot to get back, and a lot of I had to keep faith in it, really, and just keep doing what I was doing, and hoping that time would heal me, and I'd finally get back to it, because I didn't really start feeling like me until maybe late November, mid December, really. And then New Year started feeling 100% pretty much close to. And then, so really, it's been a really long road for me to even get back. So I'm happy, man, more than happy. I just need to get active now. Activity is key for me.
Yeah, no, of course. Speaking of activity, obviously presumably the plan is for the UFC to return to London in July. Do you want to wait out and get back on that card, or is it a case of when the right name's offered to me, I'll take it whenever, wherever?
July is what I'm aiming for, whether it be here in the US, wherever, and then I want to fight on the Abu Dhabi card in October. I heard there's like a Swedish card in September or something as well, but wherever, as long as I get 3 fights in this year, I'll be buzzing. Wherever they are, I don't mind.
Is there a name between 11 and 15 and then rankings that you think, maybe not there's personal beef, but you go, me and him would be a good scrap, I'd like to fight him?
I think they're all good scraps. If you look at them rankings there, they're all good scraps. You've got Danny Ige in there, you've got Sadiq Youssef in there, you've got Edson Barboza in there, you've got Alex Caceres in there. Any of them are an amazing fight in my eyes. I think Caceres is 15th, so I think that's maybe the most likely matchup they're going to give me. But I think Barboza's booked as well, Billy Quarantillo.
Yeah.
But any of them, man, I just want to test myself now. I don't mind. I don't even care on the result. I just want to test myself and see where I'm really at.
Yeah, I love it. Final question from me, mate, because you're a busy man. We just been talking off camera Saturday night. You'll be down in Newcastle supporting the young gun Lewis McGrillen on the PFL Europe cards. For those who don't know, give me a little bit of an insight into your training partner Lewis and what he's going to do in the sport.
I've been training with this kid from 15, and like I've always said, he wasn't anything special at that age, but he always showed up. He showed up and showed up. Even if he was getting beat up, he showed up, and that's what I've always rated him for. And then he just come into his own. He started to show his personality, his madman style. He started knocking people out, because Lewis used to be a wrestler. He was predominantly a wrestler when he started, and now he's just banging people out on the feet. So I feel like he's got a bright future, very big future ahead of him. He's got everything. He's got the personality. He's got the fighting style, aggressive, and he knocks people out. Not many flyweights knock people out like that. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do in the sport, man. And I can't wait till Saturday night.
There's a similarity between yourself and him in terms of styles. Do you think he's emulated you a little bit and kind of is almost a mini version of Lerone?
I think he's himself, really, but maybe he does maybe he does get inspired by what I do. Looking up to us guys and stuff like that. But Lewis is himself, and he's his own person, and I can't take none of that credit away from him.
No, I'm excited to see him on Saturday night. But Lerone, great to see you get back in the win column, mate. It really, in as much as seeing you back in action, it was even better to see you in the win column. I can see your TV behind you, Call of Duty's calling your name, so I'll let you get back to Warzone.
Nah, not been on that. I'm done with that life.
But no, thanks for the time as always, and hopefully see you on Saturday night.
Thank you, bro. I'll see you Saturday, yeah?